Foundations for prophecy. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then I said, Here am I, send me. The throne of Elohim is the control center of the universe. The cherubim are the beings closest to him. They command the legions of angels. Since sin entered the world, cherubim have played an important role in Elohim's relationship with humanity. Thanks to prophecy, the veil that allows us to see the invisible and inaccessible world is lifted. We can see these cherubs standing beside the throne, acting under Elohim's command to help us. Elohim and the cherubim, messengers of fire. What do cherubim do? A reflection of Elohim's glory. The cherubim and humanity, lion, man, ox, and eagle, reflecting the fallen. Elohim and the cherubim, messengers of fire. One of the flaming creatures flew over to me with a burning coal that it had taken from the altar with a pair of metal tongs. Imagine being illuminated by a light so intense and special that all our thoughts and emotions were laid bare. That's Isaiah experienced when he saw Elohim's throne. His reaction, Who is me, for I am undone. Then a fiery being in Hebrew, Seraph, stops singing the holiness of Elohim, takes a burning coal from the altar, and assures Isaiah that his sin is forgiven. Of course, the cherub didn't forgive Isaiah's sin. He simply conveyed Elohim's message, for that is the function of a cherub. And from then on, it was also the role of Isaiah. It is interesting that Yeshua said of John the Baptist, another messenger of God Elohim was the burning and shining lamp. What do cherubim do? So he drove out the men and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. The Bible first introduces us to the cherubim immediately after Adam and Eve's sin. What work did Elohim give them? They were to guard the way to the tree of life, that is, to prevent humans from entering the Garden of Eden. However, their presence was not intimidating. They made the gate of Eden a miniature representation of the divine throne from which grace emanates. The word translated place, Shakan, is used to indicate that Elohim dwells in the sanctuary. From this comes the word Shekinah, which designates the glory of Elohim, manifested in dark between the cherubim, which represented Elohim's throne. And what do they do at the throne? They worship and carry out Elohim's direct orders on behalf of those who will inherit salvation, a reflection of the glory of Elohim. Before the throne there was a sea of glass, like a crystal, and in the midst of the throne and around the throne were four living creatures full of eyes in front and in back. The descriptions of the cherubim surrounding the throne of Elohim, recorded by Isaiah, Ezekiel, and John, have great similarities. Isaiah 6:14. Beings of fire, seraphim, six wings. They praise Holy, Holy, Holy. They fill the temple with smoke. Ezekiel 1:5-14. Fire torches, four wings, four faces, man, lion, ox, and eagle. They shine. Revelation 4:6-8. Living beings, six wings. They praise Holy, Holy, Holy. Like a lion, a calf, a man, and an eagle, full of eyes. The cherubim shine and glow. The eyes are symbols of brilliance, reflecting Elohim's glory. All of Elohim's creatures were designed to reflect His glory, both human beings made in His image and the angelic beings who sit beside His glorious throne. The cherubim and humanity, lion, calf, man, and an eagle. The first living creature was like a lion, the second living creature like a calf, the third living creature had a face like a man, and the fourth living creature was like a flying eagle. The description of the cherubim matches the standards of the four main tribes that camp on each side of the sanctuary: Judah, Issachar, Zebulun; Reuben, Simon, Gad; Ephraim, Manasseh, Benjamin; Dan, Asher, Naphtali. A New Jerusalem is described with the same layout, 12 gates, 3 on each of its 4 sides. Elohim wants to surround himself with his people, just as he is surrounded by the cherubim. Elohim wants us to dwell with him. This will only become a reality when Yeshua takes us with him at his second coming. But we don't have to wait until that moment to feel at the throne of Elohim. Replacing the fallen. Then I looked, and behold, a Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written on their foreheads. And unfortunately, not all cherubim have performed their duties properly. There was one who, filled with glory and splendor, thought that all the glory came from himself rather than from Elohim. Lucifer and his angels were on the mountain of Elohim, but they were expelled from it. Their place will be taken by those who remain faithful to the Lamb. At this wonderful miracle, the heavenly beings sing in unison, "You are worthy, Yeshua, because you were slain, and with your blood you purchased for Elohim persons from every tribe and language and people and nation. You made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our Elohim. They will reign on the earth."